those of you that are on Twitch or subscribe on Twitch or haven't subscribed on Twitch or are thinking about subscribing on Twitch, it is September, which means that subscribing to Twitch is like some percentage off, 25, 35%. Does anybody know? Put it in the chat. And so you can subscribe cheaper, and yet I still get the same amount from your subscription, I think. And so I might have to do a subathon during September and get that going out and whatever. Anyways, if you're up for it, 25% off. Thank you. Yes, it is September. So if you feel like subscribing on Twitch, this is the time to do it. And if you have Amazon Prime and you use it, which many of you do, you can subscribe and it doesn't cost you a dime. You get one account for free and you just sign up on it. Yeah, please tear off the shirt. Simmer down. It is a little itchy, and I don't know if it's just because it's itchy because I want to take my shirt off. No. Okay. So, obviously, we must talk about the end times. I don't know, and maybe chat room, you can tell me what, philosophically, maybe before you came to this show, what area you fell into, what category of philosophical or ethical thinking you fell into. Nihilist, existentialist, absurdist, fundamentalist, incrementalist, because as you might understand that increasingly in my philosophical journey in the doings of the show, thanks for let's see that following. That's lovely. Look at that. Increasingly, I personally am finding that optimism in and of itself is not an attitude or an idea. It is intrinsic to everything you do. So there are optimists and there are optimism denialists. But that's it. You're one of the two. You're either optimistic and aware that you're optimistic, or you're denying that you're optimistic while being optimistic, whether you want to admit it or not. Because at the base, yes, incremental positive movement. You betcha. Real, true progressivism, which is, all progress is valuable, and if you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, you've still taken 1 step forward, so shut the fuck up and keep walking, because you're going in the right direction. Pessimistic optimist. Now, a pessimist, honest to God, even a pessimist is an optimist. You want to see that? You want to see a little bit of philosophical twisting and turn? I could fucking write a paper on this. I could get a degree in philosophy that I could argue whether I have it or not from this argument. That even pessimists are optimists because they believe that by lowering their expectations of the future, it will alleviate the suffering that they might experience by getting their hopes up. So their act of pessimism is optimistic because they see a better outcome in that behavior. So they lower their expectations for their... Huh? How do you like that? Get the fuck out of here. Anyways, try to work your way out of that one, you depressive assholes. All right, now. All right. So, I like being cynical, damn it. No, you don't, or you wouldn't swear when you said it. You'd be like, I love being cynical. You know what I mean? You'd kind of throw your hair back and glance up at the sky. Give a prince-like eye gesture. Yeah. I'm glad you guys like the t-shirt. A, so do I. B, I'm sure I will enjoy the people that it will upset. Because there are going to be people who are going to, honest to God, just wearing this will draw some people in who are scanning by, watching on YouTube or Twitch or something like that, motherfucker. Like you're not allowed. And in the same way that I'm sure MAGA hats made people stop by and go, you suck, into stuff, whatever. I'm playing verbal tennis. That's true. Now, let's return back to the illusion of reality that most people think that they live in, and that is that this is the end. The end is nigh. Nigh gonna come anytime soon. Sorry to depress you. And again, I don't want to upset anybody, and I know this will make some people very mad, but the end is not nigh by any stretch. You're in for the long haul. Suck it up. Life isn't short. It's fucking long. And you need to fill it with good stuff as much as you can. Now, why do I say that? Why? Well, because this is the new Let's see if I can find the. Shut the fuck. Why is this making noise? Oh, it's Rumble, so it doesn't matter. The Yeah. So, needless to say, it's not surprising. Well, I'll give you a good who incorporates like just fucking grifty doomspraying, um, never to be outdone by rusty trombone, Russell Brand. Look at this. What's next? And literally, the name of this is COVID hysteria or World War III. Which terrifying road will elites take us down? Now, elites, look, anti-intellectualism has always been a problem. And as somebody who grew up in the South, I was surrounded by it. And hate smarts is a shitty way to live. But calling people elites is the new anti-intellectualism. And it also allows you to sort of, the value to people like Glenn Beck and others. And we're not going to go straight to Glenn Beck because we're going to go to, where is it? This one? Where is it? So, nope, this is this one. Yeah, here you go. Tucker Carlson, I think talking to, who was he talking to? Rogan or somebody? Anyways, doesn't matter. In an interview, he says they're going to assassinate Trump or whatever. Like, okay. But the anti-elite conversation, let me explain to you the root of it. More than any other aspect of it. More than the if it bleeds, it leads excitement of telling your audience that, oh shit, if you don't tune in, you might not know where death is coming from, that kind of thing, which is always ever present in some sort of, it's true crime thrives on it, right? I think all true crime, especially serial killer ones, it's Adam Carolla. Okay. So it's the annoying nasal version of it's Joe Rogan with a sinus infection, right? Gotcha. Okay. And more hair, I think. Does he still have, I don't know if he's shaved his head yet. Anyways, point being is that on the one hand, yes, there's always this if it bleeds, it leads aspect of things. It sells mystery novels and true crime shows and makes you tune into the 11 o'clock news. Fine. That's a normal, that's been around forever. What's new about this version of it and why doomsprayers in particular want to worry you about elites and experts and why they will attack, quote, elites and experts, while at the same time saying Trump is an elite and then at the same time saying he's an everyman, even though he was, born on third base and thought he had a triple with a gold-plated spoon in his mouth. What they want you to do, and especially Glenn Beck, more than any person that like, because I think like Russell Brand offshores he finds other experts while warning you about experts. You know what I mean? Like he brings on people he considers experts to tell you that have all the same credentials, arguably, as journalists or something else, but just have the take he wants to hear, right? Or they flat out just cite mainstream media and blow it off and never even spot the hypocrisy. But in this particular instance, Glenn Beck is trying to warn you away from elites and experts in the same way that like faith healers and charlatan pastors will try to talk you out of, questioning the that the earth is 6,000 years old or something like that. Because once a bullshitter, always a bullshitter. And if you realize how full of shit they are, you won't come back, right? And because we're in the information age and so much is available to you, they have two choices. One, they can tell you turn it off and don't talk to anybody, which they know you won't, don't look at anything, which they know you won't do. So what they can do is draft you towards their supportive arguments, whether they're bullshit or not. And, especially if they are bullshit and they're feeding you bullshit. And away from, and make you distrust, the well-verified, deeply scientific aspects of life, because anytime they're wrong means they're all wrong. Anytime they're his rando fuckhead expert that he brings on is wrong, you're supposed to ignore that for all the times he's right. Or that they're only ever wrong when they agree with the science. Like, it's so lame. So, but the idea is is that ignore the experts, ignore the elites, because if you do, you'll realize eventually that I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's the Glenn Beck mantra. That's the Blaze in a nutshell. And it's quite frankly Tucker Carlson's business model as well. Swear people off of experts, outrage them about things that are socially debatable, and then pretend that the scientific community or something like that is out to straight up fucking kill you.